Have you ever wondered when frugality actually becomes fear? I'm going to tell you the difference today here on 5 Minute Mentoring. You know, one of the things that all of us, I think, struggle with as working artists, especially as you're learning how the kingdom of God works and you're learning how to think like an entrepreneur, is this issue of frugality. We want to try to squeeze blood out of a turnip, if you will, try to get the most for our money, do the most that we possibly can with the things that God's given us. And at the same time, that desire to be frugal and be good stewards of what God's called us to and what He's given us, what He's placed in our hands, can actually turn into fear really, really easily. I've seen that happen so many times over the years in lives of artists where that desire to be frugal turns into fear and blocks them from actually being able to step in to the thing that God has called them to as an artist. Being an artist in really everything in the kingdom, but especially as an artist, it requires that you invest in your journey. And part of that is investing financially. Most of you, especially if you're just starting out or you're an emerging artist and you've not ever had an art business, you may not be used to thinking about expenses in a way that actually are related to investments rather than things that are taking money away from you. But when you have a business, you want expenses, not only for the good tax implications that are there, you get to write those off your taxes, but also just from the point that, hey, you're putting money back into the thing that God's given you to do. You're investing, you're sowing a seed into the field, if you will, that God's given you to work as an artist. I wrote this several years ago, but I want to share it with you. I said, frugality becomes fear when your belief in not enough becomes greater than the promise of more than enough. Your fear of not enough becomes greater than the promise, God's promise, of more than enough. Listen, my friend, you don't have to hold your money with a clenched fist. You don't have to be in fear. In fact, that's the worst thing that you could do. When you have a business and you're starting to make money, you want to reinvest in your business. It's planting seed. If you want to see your art business grow, think of it like a field. You've got to plant seeds and you've got to nurture those seeds to fruitfulness. And that happens not in a place of fearful frugality, but with a mindset of actual investing. Now, of course, you want to treat the things that God gives you with respect. You don't want to be wasteful, but don't ever let what you think is frugality turn into fear just because you're focusing more on what you don't have than God's promise of what you could have if you'll actually step out in faith and believe Him for the increase. All right? I love you, my friend. Remember, till next time, you were created to thrive. Bye.